Hello, everybody. Karakage here with PowerWash Simulator, a trophy hunter's journey. Or PowerWash Man versus the Evil Dirt, back to the filthy future. Which I'm trying it. I'm trying out a few new things because, yeah, I mean, like, why not? You know, experiment, see what works, see what doesn't, be surprised by stuff working that you don't expect to work, which is like, I'm kind of shocked. I have to admit, I am shocked. I have tried. So I've done I like got a clip, right? I do that with my videos. I usually have it with me like dying, right, in a boss fight or finishing off a boss. Honestly, a lot of the time it's me dying in a boss fight. Do I have access to that new thingy? No, I do not. Okay. But I have it with me. I'm experimenting. Find out what works, what doesn't. I'm experimenting with shorts, and I cross post that to TikTok and stuff. And like I said, normally it's me boss fighting, boss dying because, well, I die a lot in Souls-like games and stuff. But I've gone with something different. I pulled a clip directly from a live stream, and oh my god, I am surprised by how well it's performing. Like, honestly, surprised as hell. Very happy, obviously, but just surprised. So, like, it hasn't blown up on YouTube like it normally does. The videos weren't on there, so I was like, okay, I'll try something different. But the watch time engagement is higher compared to what it normally is. Over on TikTok, again, like, more views. It is surprising the hell out of me, and I am very happy with it. Super surprised. But yeah, I am just honestly shocked of how well it has gone. So I'm gonna continue with that trend. I don't know what it was about it. It could have been because I randomly sang and I cut it off like right at the end because I was about to swear in the short, basically. So I've like cut it off at the end. Like, it could have been better, but I cut that out because swearing is not always the greatest thing to put into shorts. It basically gets its own little wee age restriction. I don't really want that to pop up. So just sort of, and it was experimental, and I'm surprised by how well it's doing. Obviously, YouTube algorithm hasn't picked it up yet, so still waiting to see results on that. And honestly, shorts on YouTube's algorithm does take a little bit of time, so not super surprised by that, but I am surprised by the amount of views it's gotten. And it does seem to be getting a bit of a pickup now, because I've noticed the views sort of double in like the last hour, which isn't a lot considering it went from like 30-ish to like 60, which isn't bad considering YouTube just takes a while to do the shorts. But I'm surprised. The watch time engagement is awesome, which means that the amount swiped away will be low, which means it should be getting relatively good views. I don't know how it's been viewed so far, because the fact that people haven't swiped away but it hasn't blown up like it normally does makes me wonder where the views are coming from on there. But I haven't looked that far into the analytics. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. Like, I am surprised, but I am very, very happy. Yeah, so going pretty well. Let's see, what did I do today? I worked. It was quite busy, right? So pretty busy day at work. Got a quiet period, and there's this thing we're doing at work with these things. I'm not getting into too much details, but basically downtime. Done jobs and stuff. We've been like throwing certain things into a cup. Kind of like just testing our skills with like how good we are at throwing it in. And I hadn't really done it, but I was like, I have some downtime, I might as well do this. It was like quiet, so I like did that for a bit. I suck. Like, I threw like 100, and I got like I got 18. I know that. So, but I must have thrown at least 100. Weirdly, when I bounce it in, I've bet I get like more in, which is just surprising considering that's supposed to be harder, because it is. Anyway, so like I was doing that, and I was like, oh, I've been doing this for like I throw like around 100, and I'm like, okay, I should probably get back to work now and stop, wasting time. Boom, busy. As soon as I decided to start, catching up on some stuff that I missed, insanely busy. I'm just like, well, damn. But yeah, it was a good day. What else? What else happened today that I can think about to comment on? Well, nothing really, actually, because a lot of the stuff that I could comment on, I can't comment on because of the whole privacy thing, and I'm not really going to be like, oh, hey, this dude told me this thing, and like, it's if it's set in confidence, or even if it wasn't set in confidence, probably not expecting it to be like blasted online in the middle of me streaming. That, and there's nothing really noteworthy enough to even spread that way or mention that way. But yeah. Oh, 98% clean. Okay, I'm nearly done with the clock tower. I'm very close. Very close. Okay. I didn't realize that I was like so far into it. Here I am chatting away about random shit, not really paying attention to like how far in I am. Ooh, okay. All right. Let's see. Get this. I have a feeling there's something outside that I missed on these door thing. Oh, did I just see dirt? Maybe not. Okay, I'll get this up here, I guess. Alright, clean the evil dirt and make sure it goes back to normal. Get rid of the dirt because I'm a professional cleaner. Actually, no, this is something funny that I can share. So I have had a couple of jobs over the years. Well, more than a couple, but this is awesome. So I remember I worked at KFC when I was like 16. I want to say I was 16, and we were taught to mop the floors in a certain way. Basically, you grabbed a mop, mopped it, did a good job, and then once you'd finished, you got the bucket and you just spread it all over the floor like that. That's what you did, and then you just sort of left it. I don't know why this was the way to do it. But, then you went home for the day, it was all done. It usually dried up by the next day. So when I first started, first, like, day, well, not day, but, like, where we would, part of the training at work was, cleaning the toilets. So I used that method that I had learnt at KFC to clean the floors, because they never said to do anything differently there. So, I do it. Graveyarder comes on, goes into his toilet. He starts calling up, so we call it logging a job. When something's broken, needs fixing. So he immediately starts calling up, call center, because back then it was through phone. He immediately starts calling up the call center to like log a job because he thinks the toilet is broken because there is a leak. And I'm like there, like listening to the phone call. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, no, dude, I just fucking cleaned it. Like, what the hell? And yeah, it was kind of funny. But yeah, I then learnt you don't clean the toilet like that. And where I work, you actually do it properly. I also found out the way that, and now that I think about it, KFC, that is not the way you should probably clean floors. I just realized, like, you are throwing out the dirty water onto the floor and leaving that to soak overnight. Just thinking back on that, that's probably a bad thing. Because, like, you should probably be emptying that into a sink, because it's not as if you're going to, like, clean something with the dirty mop. Like, you put it in, you squeeze the mop out. To be, like, there are cleaning chemicals. Okay, KFC, it was a long time ago, so I can't remember if we used cleaning chemicals. I'm sure we did. But, like, thinking back on it, I just feel like that's probably a really, really bad way of doing it. The weird thing is when I had my current job, right, I also had a second job where I worked as a kitchen hand, at a restaurant, which, by the way, I'll mention later, but I didn't mop the floor that way because they told me that, don't do it that way, just, mop normally. I did, no, wait, no, I lie. I did do it that way, but we had like this broom, we just sort of swept it in to the drain, so maybe I did do that, because I did do that. Huh. Anyway, so yeah, I worked as a kitchen hand for a bit, at a restaurant. However, the way that I learnt to wash dishes was I was a I was like a living babysitter when I was like 14, maybe 16, for like school holidays. There was an instructor at martial arts that I did when I was younger, so yeah, 14, maybe 14. And basically he said the best way to do dishes is you fill up the sink with hot water. You do not put in any cold water. You put in the dishwash, and then you wash one thing at a time. Make sure it's super fucking clean. Put it in the dish rack to dry. So that's the way that I did my kitchen hand job, was that. Which is not the correct way to do it. Kitchen hand is just, you're supposed to just give it a basic rinse, put it in the washy thing, and it just basically sanitizes, washes, makes it all clean. I cleaned it way too much before throwing it in, so I was a bit slow. And then I was like, okay, I worked 2 days here a week at my other job, like more shifts were opening up, but they weren't, calling me in to do it because they knew I had a second job. So, I quit the job, went full time where I'm currently working. But I was like too good at cleaning to be a good cleaner there as a kitchen hand. And like I saw the results of like other people doing like the same thing. They were just so fast. I just did not have that same speed. But at the end of the day, didn't really matter. Because the stuff was clean, it all worked out, all was fine. The weird thing is though, chefs, and I've also worked like when I was 18. 18? Yeah, 18. I worked as a pizza chef. And so I know chefs have tempers. You hear about it, you probably see it on like random cooking shows. They do definitely have tempers. They swear a lot, especially if you're slow. The head chef at the place that I worked did not have that anger. Like, it was so strange to see. Like, you hear all these stereotypes, and this dude was calm, relaxed, pretty nice dude. And he basically, he was like, hey, you're slow, you need to improve, otherwise, I'm going to have to let you go. Like, he was, like, legitimately awesome with it. Obviously, I quit after a little bit after that to have full time, but yeah, it was surprising. Like, he was actually a nice, relaxed chef. Like, yeah. So, stereotypes, they exist, they are true, but it doesn't apply to everyone in the profession, which, if you work in that profession and expect it and you don't see that, it is a surprise, especially if it's not just a stereotype you're working off, but actual personal experience. But yeah, he was a super, super nice dude. I gave my notice in. He basically said, hey, yeah, you don't have to work out your notice. I also found out that they didn't end up replacing my position. So it looks like I wasn't super needed, which was kind of cool. The job trial was pretty sweet. Like, I had an interview with him. Just like, because I was like super desperate for a job at the time. He's just like, okay, we can trial you when you're available. I'm like, I can do it tonight. He's like, yeah, sweet. went in trial. He's just like, yeah, sweet, you did good work. You know, do you want a job? I'm like, yes. Paid a bit above minimum, which was pretty cool. Got the job. And you know, went well for a few months. I showed up every day, never called in sick. I only screwed up the time card a couple of times because I had to remember 2 different employee codes because, you know, second job. But yeah, no, it was a pretty good job. Although I'm pretty sure the business also doesn't exist anymore because, you know, COVID happened, a bunch of places closed, and it was a restaurant, and yeah. But I wonder what happened to all those people. No idea. But I do remember, like, when I worked as a pizza chef, head chef there was trying to basically make me a chef. That was why I originally quit that job, because I didn't want that. I just wanted, you know, money, a job, stable income. I didn't want to be a chef, especially in New Zealand. The pay is shit compared to other countries. Like, it's absolutely shit. There's this dude who's here on like a holiday that I know of, and you know, he's like worked in Michelin star restaurants. You know, so he gets paid like a fuck ton of money overseas. Yeah, he's on like for a chef, as this is low. He's on like 27 an hour, and like he's like not a basic line chef. He's like I don't actually know what kind of chef he is because I can't remember. But he's basically like a second in command sort of chef. You know, whereas the exact same job that he has, if he worked in Australia, he'd be getting paid like $50 an hour type of thing. Don't know if it'd be that much, but it's just, you know, such a surprising difference in pay. Chefs sort of get paid shit here. I remember, so Mr. Beast has a Beast Burger coming here in New Zealand. Don't know if it's released yet, but the job posting for basic line chefs there was like 32 an hour. That is insanely high for a chef's job here. So obviously a lot of people are clamoring to get it. Have I finished this room? I believe I have. I can't see anything showing up in my little wee dirt vision scan. Oh, yes I do. Just there. And then, or maybe it was just reflecting. Alright. Let's see. What have I got left? What have I got left to clean? It loads. It's taking its time. There we go. Alright. Clock ceiling axle. Clock ceiling. Ah, that thing. Turn on. There we go. I can't see anything directly on here. Ah. Would it be the top of this? Maybe? Would it be this thing? Ah, no, I see it. Okay. Clock cogs. So one of them I haven't... Ah. I had a feeling it'd be this one. And I have a feeling it's like the top of it. So I jumped up on the bell before, didn't I? And then... Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Okay. And then just wait for it to slowly rotate, I guess? Is this working? It kind of is, but I feel like I'm not in the greatest of positions to get this the way that I want. I may need to go all the way down and grab the ladder. But let's see if I can get it with this. Come on, there we go. Jump on up. Oh. Huh. Actually, if I just keep pushing left, I am breaking physics. There we go, I got it cleaned. Alright. clock winding mechanism. Okay, that is this thing. Okay. I saw a little bit of dirt. Oh, there we go. Grab you. Can I put you on the other side? I can, I guess. And then... Alright, that was easily done. What's next? Clock tower bell mounts. Ah, there. Is that it? Yep. Then we got large tool cabinet. So I was right about something being needing to be cleaned on here. That mean? Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright. Next would be clock tower wall columns. Ah, okay. Let's see. I don't know if the top part of this counts, but... Can I get this? Yeah, I can. Alright, well after that, clock tower workbench. I don't know what this is. Ah, yes I do. It's this. Yeah. Now, where would the dirt be? Okay, that was found. Where else? Right. That's in my way. Okay. Is there anything on here? Where is it? I found it. I didn't finish it off. Oh, but there's stuff over on the other side. Okay, that worked. Need to wait for it to load through. Scroll down. Plaster bases, plaster shafts, pillar bases, pillar shafts. Okay, so I think that's all the stuff outside then. Alright. Obviously, there might be something else that I need to do that I'm missing, but for now... Whee! What's glowing? That's glowing. Okay. But nope. But what about this side? There we go. Blister shafts. Okay. I actually see any dirt on here, but that worked. I'd say like two of them. There we go. Next one would be pillar bases, which I'm going to guess are behind me or next to me. These things. Ah, these things. Okay. I see it. Just okay. And then this one here as well. Is there anything? Yeah. No. Yes. Maybe. Probably not. I see it there. Alright, entrance steps times 2. Entrance steps. Entrance window frames, pillar shafts. Wait, I missed a step? Ah, I see. And then where would the other one be that I missed? Ah, I think I saw a bit of glow there. Maybe not. I may need to target that slightly, but pillar shafts. I'll go ahead and see what I've missed here. What's glowing? Nothing's glowing. Nope, that's glowing. Which means I need to change my extension to extra long. Check out dirt version, turn on dirt version. Nothing showing up in dirt version, but it does finding it here. Go along to the right and get that one. on there. Entrance window frames. I feel like that's these ones. It is. Clean that. Clean a little bit. There we go. Move over to this one. Go along the edge. Continue going on up. And then the entrance steps, which I cannot figure out which one is missing. Dirt. Pushed the wrong button. Go back to Stubby Gun. And let's see what we find. I may need to turn on... Yeah, I'm going to need to turn this on. What's it called so I can get the alphabet right? Entrance steps. So E. Entrance steps. Entrance steps. There we go. Which one is it? This one. Okay. Go across. Oh, it must be something along the edge, no? Yeah, slave. Save the clock. Save the clock tower. Wow, I could not say that word. That was embarrassing. All right, now there's a. Is there a trophy related to this that I have not received? Like I had to stick around in a previous level. That's not the game. That's the game. Let's see, where are we? We are. Hollow Max Theatre are the next ones. Okay, so there's nothing else in Clock Tower. No. Awesome. There's me cleaning everything. And just standing in the air. Because I'm magic. Okay, so... Oh! I saw the window open right at the end there. That was kind of cool. What's this? Doesn't say. Alright, come on. That's one heck of a job, Power Washer. Thank you. You're welcome. Can't wait to sit down with the editors now and get those scissors working. Really feels like we've been part of something truly special here. We couldn't be more pleased with your work. And if anything else comes up, we'll get back to you in the future. Thanks a lot. Will you get back to me in the future, or will you get back to me in the past? Because we are back to the future. Hollow Max Theatre. Alright, I need to check the trophy guide to make sure that I don't accidentally miss anything going into it straight away. So let's have a look here. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Okay, Hollow Max. Oh no, that's completing Hollow Max Theatre. Then after that we go to... Okay, as soon as you start theatre job, turn right immediately. You'll see a red X on the floor. Stand on it and look at this trophy. And if you look at the theatre, you'll not only seen on it shark pop out at you, but also it's bronze trophy. Okay, after do not clean anything and do back to the theatre, as this can be missed, forcing you to replay the level. What's back to the theatre? Okay, Hollow Max Theatre, clean the grid wall first. Okay. Wow, that's a long message. Hey, Power Washer Services, how's it going? Hopefully you enjoyed your previous time with us and would like to come back for more silver screen jet wash action. We've got the green light for another 2 movies and we're filming back to back. For these, we're time traveling all over the place, back to the wild west of 1885 into the far-flung future of 2015. And even into a bleak alternative present. It's a real mind melter. Unfortunately, the first minds to be melted were those of the production crew. They started work on the Hill Valley Town Square of the future, built this incredible looking futuristic movie theater, but then trashed it in the bleak alternative present. You know what? I'm getting the feeling that I'm in danger of melting another mind here. So let's just say we've got a grubby and strange looking movie theater. We'd like you to wash down in your inimitable and excellent fashion. Thanks a lot. You're welcome, film producer guy. It's 1989. I have a year. So I have definitely traveled in time then. I'm a fucking time traveling power washer, man. All right. Red X, red X, red X. Shark still looks fake. Absolutely looks fake. Now, I need to clean the grid wall first. So I'll go ahead and highlight it on here so I don't accidentally miss it. Grid wall, A, B, C, D, D, U, R. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's that. Yes, it is. All right, let's have a look and see the best way of getting at this. I'm going to grab a ladder. I'm going to place that there, and I'm going to grab the other ladder, and I'm going to place you up here. Can you climb a ladder with a ladder? Okay, I don't know. Hey, PowerWasher, welcome back to a small... Ah, motherfucker! Ah, son of a... How did I... Oh my god, welcome back to a small dirty corner of the future. When they finish the set, the entire town square is going to look like it's 2015, if you can imagine that far forward. I mean, I'm from the future, dude, so yeah. And, I mean, also, I've heard some rumors about the film's predictions. I'll run them past you once I've found my notebook. Let's see. What predictions was... Okay, so hoverboards? No. Although we sort of have them at the moment. There's this dude in the States. He has actually created like a hoverboard. And he got a ticket for landing on public street because, you know, he doesn't like fly super high in the air, but he got a ticket for landing because aircraft is not supposed to do that. It's technically an aircraft. And so that was kind of funny that he got a ticket for stopping at a red light. But yeah, it looks really cool. Like, I would like recommend him, but I cannot remember his channel name or anything. But I'm sure if you just search hoverboard in real life, it'd probably come up. I can't remember what other predictions were put into Back to the Future as for what we have now. Or in 2015. I can't even remember what we had in 2015 versus what we have now. Definitely have better internet. Let's see, what else? AI. Like, I don't even know if we had AI back then, but definitely AI is so... It's taken a huge leap forward compared to what it was back then. Social media is definitely bigger. More of an integration in, well, everything, basically. Like, social media influencers is actually a legitimate job now. It's still weird to explain to people when they ask what you do, apparently. But, you know, that's like a legitimate job. There's like, no! I saw the other day, there's a Coursera course, on a social media, like, course, and I'm just like, how to, you know, get viral TikToks and stuff, and it's one of those free ones that, you know, Coursera, you just sort of pay. So, and usually the courses on places like that are usually from like universities. So I'm going to guess that there's like actual university courses on how to get in to be a social media influencer, and that is just insane because that did not exist in 2015. Definitely didn't exist in the 80s. Although I guess technically it did because you had like TV influencers, and they were, you know, product placement in TV and movies is a thing, but I don't actually know how strong that was back in the 80s because, well, one, I was not alive back then, and two, when I watched like TV and movies from that era, I'm not really looking at the product placement because some of the products may not exist anymore. So, you know, for all I know, it's like something that's in universe that is being advertised. Some stuff's obvious, like you might see like Pepsi or Coke or whatever, but at the same time, I don't actually know if there are any other sort of cola drinks around back then. Because I really do not know like timelines on stuff like that. Also, I'm pretty sure I've seen both in the same movie, so I don't know how much of it was actually product placement back then versus what they just like had and grabbed. Because oh, we need a drink for this thing. Let's make it a cola or something, or a lemonade. I'm not too sure, but maybe. But considering I have heard, what's his name? Richard Branson, the dude who did I think it's Virgin Airlines. Um, he he had his own cola business. He's doing like super well over in, I think it was like the UK market. Like he was making bank. He was like outperforming Coke and Pepsi over there. Then he like did this PR stunt. I think it was he like basically drove a tank, and like blasted his competitors down with it. Then all of a sudden, Virgin Cola is no longer around. I have heard that it was, and I heard it from him on like a YouTube short thing, where it was like Coke and Pepsi basically going to all the supermarket stores, places where you could sell, and they were like, they paid people, retailers, don't stock this guy's product, and so he got like literally like phased out because of the amount of money that they had, and apparently he just has like a warehouse just full of Virgin Cola that's now expired. From what I have heard there. But yeah, basically he got, it's just like, hey, I'm kicking your guys' asses, and that made them, I guess, take him seriously as a threat. What I don't understand is once he figured out oh yeah, that's right, he found this out because he had hired like their previous, I think it was like their marketing director, and she straight up told him, yeah, this is what happened. Yay, back to the theater trophy. One thing that I don't really get is like, oh no, if he didn't know what was going on, yeah, no, I don't think he knew what was going on at the time. So I'm thinking he's a billionaire himself. Why didn't he like just buy them, like pay them a bit more? But then again, you're competing against two different companies who are both paying a significant amount of money, so maybe he wouldn't be able to keep up. Because yeah, he's a multi-billionaire, but he's like competing with two different multinational billion-dollar companies. So I'm not actually sure how that would work in regards to if he could like outspend them and also he'd probably just sort of go not bankrupt, but like it wouldn't be worth it in the long term. Paying just so things like get sold, he wouldn't really be making a profit. So it'd be a lot of operating costs on there. So maybe that's not so smart. Although I did hear the way Richard Branson got his start was with no money at all. So there was this other thing I saw on YouTube where it was comparing self-made billionaires and millionaires and stuff. So there was Bill Gates, and I think it was either it could have been Elon Musk in there as well. But let's just take Bill Gates, right? They basically said, Bill Gates drops out of college, tries to start Microsoft. If he fails, he has rich parents. So, not a huge deal. Same thing with, I think it's the Apple guy, Tim Cook, and Elon Musk is debatable on whether or not he had money. Like, there's a whole lot of argument and controversy around that. So, depending on what train of thought you believe and what's actually true, 50-50 with him, basically. But there's then there was Richard Branson, who had nothing, and the way he started was he leased a plane from Boeing, and Boeing was just like, no, we already leased it out to the established airlines. So they were like, no. But apparently he like called like every day asking, and eventually they got annoyed and put him on to like hire up people so they could say no. Keep going on at him. And eventually they were just like, hey, we don't have anything to give you, all the other guys have it. And he was like, well, do you have like an old crap thing? There was like a specific plane he asked for, I can't remember what it was. And he was like, do you have an old crap one that you aren't using? It's just sitting in a warehouse. And they're like, yes. And he's like, well, can I have that? And, Bowen was just like, well, sure. Because basically their thought was, he's going to fail, but, why not lend it out? It's sitting in a warehouse not doing anything. And apparently, Alex, production assistant, hey, here's a real fun trick special effects team done for the movie theatre. If you want to try it, I've done that. And basically, so, he went in and did it, made a profit, paid for the lease. But the way it works with the airline rentals or leasing is you don't pay it up front. You basically get the plane and then you book out flights or whatever, and then you pay upon arrival. So the way that you do it is you get a lease agreement, and you sort of pay it once you have the flight. So he, like, when he hit, got a flight booked, had passengers, and then afterwards, paid for the lease and all that stuff. So that's basically, from what I understood, is how we got started. Which, pretty bloody smart way of doing it, I guess. And, if he failed, he wouldn't have lost anything. He may have owed something from the lease. I'm not too sure on that part, but basically, he had nothing and he actually got something out of it. Whereas other billionaires, I think the argument is they had money from the start. If it didn't work out, they had something to fall back on. Whereas Richard Branson didn't really have anything to fall back on. How I remember that, I guess I just remember it. I've also, speaking of people you expect to be like rich billionaires, I also recently learnt Sam Altman, CEO and creator of OpenAI, so ChatGPT. Apparently he has no money. Like, literally all he takes out as a salary is basic living expenses and maybe some health insurance or whatever. But other than that, he's apparently not rich or anything. I don't know how true that is, because, yeah, billionaires have ways of get around taxes and stuff. Maybe it's something like that. Although I don't think it is, because I think any money that he would have would sort of go straight into OpenAI, considering he's trying to, do something for the future of humanity type of thing. But I don't know too much about stuff like that. It's more just, stuff I've seen. And of course, do your own research on stuff, because, information can be wildly inaccurate. And some of the stuff that you see is just, for clicks and views, and might not actually be accurate information. But, yeah, there's just some random facts that I thought to bring up, because I remembered to. Now, what can I get from this position? Nothing without switching my nozzle, but I'll get as much here as I can. This seems like a smaller area than the clock tower. So, yeah, there we go. Can I get this area? Yeah, I can. I'll go ahead and get this here. Right, I remember what I was going on about the other day in another stream about like aliens, life on other planets and stuff, and like you know, if they passed by us and we're aware of us, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they are because I mean, if there is an advanced alien species out there, because humans would probably do the same in the situation, they would monitor other intelligent species without being seen, just to you know see where they're at in their development, see if they could be a potential threat, stuff like that. Like I feel like if there is an advance, and I do believe that there is, but if there is like an advanced alien species, sorry, I do believe that there are aliens, like there is life on other planets. Like statistically, it makes sense. Whether or not they're intelligent and more advanced than us, I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but it's also possible that we are currently the most advanced life out there, or it could be they're at the same level as us. But assuming that there is one that is more advanced than us, and they have achieved, space travel, and they can go ahead and visit other star systems, galaxies, all that jazz. I reckon because humans would do the same thing. They would observe, right? They would observe, keep an eye on potential other um, life societies. Trying to think of the word. Like they would keep an eye on it, right? Because it just makes sense. But I do wonder what they would think when they see us. Like, I mean, there is just so much humanity has done, and we are a young species, obviously, and we're still warring with each other. But is that unique to humans? Because animals don't necessarily war with each other. They get into fights, sure, like you see two cats fight and stuff, but that's more domesticated cats. And then there's a whole, lion takes over a pride, it goes ahead, kills the, wins, challenges like the head lion. They're actually kind of barbaric, or well, they're not barbaric, but they like take out like the winner, the previous leader. They'll kill the children, and then mate with all the females and show their pride. Although now that I think about it, we look at that and view that as normal, right? Like we as humans wouldn't do that. We're not going to go and get a get a new partner that has had a previous one. Like we will do that, but we're not going to go in and kill that person's children so our genes go on because we are the stronger genes. We're not going to, I mean, guys do get into fights and women do get into fights, but we're not going to like go ahead and fight to the death type of thing and then take out the children. So there is that. But like we view that in the animal kingdom as normal. So possibly if aliens did come across us and they saw us do this, maybe they'd think it's just normal behavior with everything that we do. I mean, it's normal for us, I guess, although at the same time, humans are a contradiction, like with the way we are. So, like, take the animal kingdom, for example. It's consistent. What they do, it is consistent. You're not going to have, like, one lion not kill the children, right? That is consistent. They will always do that. Whereas humans, you have different things. It might be because, there's a significant intelligence with humans compared to animals. But it could be like a wait, what is that? Oh, actually, I need to double check something. Am I streaming on TikTok? Or did I screw that up? No, I am. Okay, so that succeeded. It's just my chatbot's not working with it like it should be. That's fine. I just wanted to double check. Anyway. What was I saying? Humans. Oh, right. So, you're not going to see inconsistencies within the animal kingdom. And if you do, well, there's usually some sort of good explanation for it. Whereas humans, you will see inconsistencies not only across different humans, but with the same fucking human. Like, take, for example, eating, right? You look at animals. They will have their diets, and they will stick with those diets, and they won't. All fun predictions from the film, right? Straps up and yay, yes please. Humans are going to be, animals are going to be consistent across their diet. Spiders are going to eat insects. Prediction one, there'll be flying cars galore in 2015. Nope. Although I think we have come across something close to it, but we do not have it. I think the most we have is like a hover car which can go across water and land. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised. Wow, 1995, most definitely not. What else was I going to say? Oh, it'd be really great to have my... Okay. This is what? 1988, right? Okay. I'll go back to the talk about, animals and stuff in a minute. No. Okay, so say we did have the tech, right? For flying cars, we make that breakthrough. And we get it, fully flying cars in the air. We get that by 1995. It's not going to matter. Because technically we have the tech already. It's called planes, right? Do you know how difficult it is to organize just the planes that we have in the sky at the moment? That's a few thousand. I don't know how many, but a few thousand. There's like a whole thing dedicated to organizing it so they don't crash. If flight travel was consistent, like it is with driving, there would be so many air traffic controllers just managing traffic. It would be a logistical nightmare. We do not have the infrastructure to have something like that as we are now. So just straight up, just that there. Also, in space, just because we have flying cars does not mean that we have space travel. Like, I don't know why you would think that. And one does not relate to the other. Just because you both can, like, sort of fly, I guess, does not mean that we will go into space. I mean, we have planes now. Does not mean that we regularly go to space, especially at a cheap cost. I remember, I think it was... I remember, like, people, like, memed on it or whatever. But I think it was Katy Perry. She went to space and she paid, like, a fuck ton of money for it. And it, most people are like, oh, who gives a shit? But, that cost, like, I think it was, like, 50 mil. So, and also there was huge, I don't know how huge the risk was, but there was a serious risk of, like, death. So, yeah, space travel by 1998, no, because we have the tech to go to space now for, like, I don't know how long, but it's not done at scale. And it won't be at scale for a very long time because, cost and shit to do it. So, this 1988, right? 1995, having fucking flying cars and space travel in 6 years, Not realistic, dude. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, so, humans are inconsistent. So take diet, for example. So you have someone go through life. Humans are omnivores by nature. Like, we are omnivores. We can survive and live on just meat or, like, just plants. So, basically we have a wide and varied diet, right? But then you have people who dedicate themselves to one type of diet. So, say vegans, as an example. That's absolutely fine. People are like, okay, cool, live and let live. The animals will see this. But then you will have these vegans, and not all vegans do this, but you will have vegans go ahead and say, eating meat is evil and all that sort of shit. And, then they will also eat meat in secret. And aliens will be like, that's an inconsistency of humans. Or, they'll go on about it for years. And, and then all of a sudden they'll just, change their mind and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go back to eating meat now. And, inconsistency with humans, they exist. They are fucking weird. Humans are, yeah. So, when, you see something be normal, humans, I guess the normal thing about humans would be humans are inconsistent. And they change and they adapt to their environment and they try out new things. And I guess we're still finding ourselves as a species. But yeah, humans would probably be a bit terrifying to other species as well because of that change in adaptability. Because depending on how aliens, like evolved and stuff, like the way that we do things could be completely foreign to them. Also, just thinking about it, porn. The amount of shit that we come up with. I'm pretty sure aliens would not come up with anything close to what we have. Humans are depraved, what they come up with. And I'm not talking about, stuff that's legal. I'm just talking about the legal shit. And the mediums that we use to express it. I mean, could be aliens like, holy shit, that's an accurate representation of my sister. Because of the crazy shit that we come up with. I totally see humans, not all humans, but I totally see some really perverted humans out there lining up to, if aliens saying come and present themselves and they look like something out of a nightmare. I fully see humans going there trying to have sex with it. Because why not? And if it was questioned, I feel like our response would just be, well, why not? And then, the space is just like, well, we can't procreate life because, it's not possible. Dude, some random dude comes along just like, yeah, well, can't procreate life with goat doesn't mean I am stopping me from, trying it out with the goat. Because there are some really depraved people out there who will absolutely do that. And I remember that from a movie. I can't remember what the movie was. But it was a funny one. But yeah, humans are pretty unique. And so varied and wildly different from each other, which is, I reckon, one of the best things about humans. Like, animals are different, they have different personalities and stuff, but they can be consistent with the way that you treat them, more or less. A cat will always appreciate that you fed them and will basically be like, oh, you have food, you're cool. You're a trusted person. Doesn't matter the type of cat, could be a freaking feral cat. Sees that you have food, it's going to, like, potentially see you as a friendly. Whereas it might attack you, because cats do that, and it won't let you touch it, but, you know, it'll see you have food, and it will eat that food. More or less. Well, maybe not. Cats are a bit different. No, let me rephrase. That actually, cats will do that depending on the person. If they, because, you know, you can work your way up to trusting them, getting trust with them. I don't know where I'm going with what I'm saying right now. I feel like I had a good place to go, but now I've lost it. Lost it completely. Now, okay, so I originally said, I don't know if I originally said this, but I did say this seems like it's going to be faster in the Watchtower, and I do believe that, but I may have slightly underestimated how much stuff there is, because this area is quite a lot to do. So maybe I was a little wrong, but that's fine. Ooh, I can't reach that from here. Okay, continue cleaning along here. And along here, I guess. Clean. Also, is this graffiti? Oh, it looks like a mouth and like some sort of monster or something. Prediction 2 hoverboards. Yes, but not widely used at all. Also, not like they appear in the movie. I can't remember the year, but there was actually a hoverboard that came out. But it's like I mean, skating feels like I mean, I'm pretty sure skateboarding was at the Olympics. I don't know if it still is. No, but we have wheelies, so that happened. What is this? Oh. No to that. That's just at 50. You're gonna break a hip. Wait, is it 50 you start breaking hips? I don't remember. I was going somewhere with something. What was I saying before that? Damn it. Talking about something. And I got distracted. Oh, yeah, I can't remember what I was saying at all. That's annoying. Let's see if I can remember. Nope. I can't remember at all. I lost my train of thought. That's annoying. Wait, I think I was talking about, humans stuff. I was thinking about my computer. Definitely remember thinking about that. But I suppose I was saying something about it at the time, or was I thinking about saying something later on? So I was finishing my train of thought on something. Yeah, nah, I've lost what I was going to say. But, I mean, I'll continue with the computer thing. I'm going to be able to buy it tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to it. Also, apparently vertical streaming is coming directly to YouTube from, like, the streamy page. I checked to see if I had access to it. I do not seem to have it. Also, they are going to have an auto clipping tool from. I don't know if it's just streams or not, but they're going to have an auto clipping tool on YouTube, which I think is really good. Because I have tried like the YouTube editor app that's on mobile. It's really, really good. Especially considering I've, tried editing in the past and haven't been super successful. I've tried different editors on phone and I do not like them. The YouTube one is really, really nice, easy, simple to use. I reckon the whole shorts thing is going to turn out pretty well. And I'm looking forward to that, especially since, sometimes shorts aren't always the greatest from what I get. So I'm looking forward to, playing around with that, seeing what I get. Hopefully it does videos as well. Jaws 19. Wow, that isn't accurate. Jaws is like a condemned movie now as well. No, not condemned, but because of the movie, it created basically an extinction of sharks. Like they got on the endangered species list because of the movie. An unforeseen consequence, but they were just trying to make a scary movie. And then people went out, killing sharks because of the Jaws movies. Which is, not the greatest thing. And then you have, different countries hunting them for their food, like shark fin soup, which also doesn't help. So you had normal, ordinary, I guess, people, see this movie, be like, oh shit, sharks are evil and they're dangerous, so they go out and hunt them and kill them and hunt them to like near extinction. But on top of that, you had like normal fishermen like hunting them down to eat because why not? So a combination of the two makes them endangered and stuff. Although that doesn't explain the whales, because apparently they're an endangered species and like whaling's outlawed and stuff. But as far as I know, humans didn't have a whole let's go hunt fucking whales to extinction. So maybe that was just overfishing. Which, why didn't they farm them? Why didn't they farm whales? Like, they have a captivity thing. Because I do know they do that with, like, fish. And, well, farm animals. Maybe it's not something that's possible. Never really thought about it before. Anyway, thinking about what to play after this as well. I have a few things in mind, but I don't know what I'm going to play yet. I think I'll sort of decide on the day. I am definitely leaning towards a couple of games, but I'll need to have a bit of a look, because after I finish this up, part of the goal is going to be trying to grow Twitch to affiliate, so I need to target specific games for that, because I don't want to do something that's overpopulated with everyone like streaming this one game, so discoverability won't be that great. While on the flip side, I don't want to have something that has too little viewers, because again, discoverability, if no one's like looking to watch that game, well, there's not going to be any views at all. So yeah, and then there's also the other balancing act of I want to actually play the game that I like, and it has to be on PlayStation. So there is that. I do know certain games that I'm definitely going to like play once all my setup's set up, and they're like going to be non-negotiable. Once everything's sort of set up, I'm going to go on a bit of a PS3 trophy hunting spree, because I want to get to first on the leaderboards, and I'm very close to it. Like I'm like 2 platinums away basically. But I also have a lot of PS3 games in my backlog, and I want to go back and take care of them, while at the same time keeping up with Souls games that I want to play. But no, I'm sort of waiting for release on a few of them. Oh. So just social, plus just, oh my god, tired. Plus, there's some PS5 games I just genuinely want to play as well. Hence, you know, the next game that I'm going to play. Why that's a little bit of an indecision for what to play next. But yeah, huge plans for future stuff. I say huge plans, just plans in general for what to play next. I am leaning pretty heavily though towards Hades. But I just don't know for sure yet. Also, potentially Final Fantasy. So I saw that's pretty good discoverability on Twitch, but that one I'm going to be straight up using a walkthrough for it, so I don't get any missable trophies, so I don't know how entertaining that stream would be. Hades is basically play through, do stuff, and do crap on cleanup. So it'll be easier to manage with how to walk through for that. But yeah. It's all try stuff out, I guess, and being experimental-ish with it. Experimental-ish. Words. Alright. I think the floor's almost done. Oh! Take care of this side of things. Oh, and I need to get the roof. Ceiling. Oh, entry floor cleaned. Awesome. Okay. In that case, I will focus on... I've got... quite a bit here done. Okay, I'll focus on the lights, I guess, if I can. I didn't even realize that those still needed to be gotten. Okay. Then, Jaws 19. I think there was a total of 3 Jaws movies, there's possibly a Jaws 4. Where's out on that one? Why Jaws? And shark movies aren't really that huge in the first place now. I think the main one at the moment is I forgot the name of it. Megalodon. I actually like that movie. It's pretty cool. Should branch out to hammerheads. What the hell? There is like Shark Week. That's the thing. The sharks are pretty. Huh. No. Although back in the 80s? No, not even back in the 80s. Because they had Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. They went up to like 9. Yeah, 9 back then because Halloween as well. Maybe more. Although back then, back in the 80s, I don't know how many moves there were in them. But yeah, definitely not 9. Like, hell no. hell to the no for that. Should some have stopped at 3? Probably. Should they have done TV series? Absolutely not. I've heard really bad things about, I think it was Friday the 13th TV series. I don't know if any others, I just heard really bad ones about that. Although if I haven't heard about any others and they did, then obviously that's probably an indicator of, yeah, that was a bad TV series if you haven't even heard of it. It's just not memorable. I mean, Friday the 13th, while, you know, it was bad enough to be memorable, so that's something. I think I actually watched a few episodes of it as well. I'm thinking about it correctly. I don't know if I liked it or anything. I also don't think it made sense in the timeline either, from memory. I think that was one of the complaints about it. I could be wrong, of course. But I think that was one of the complaints about it. Oh, I'm tired. I think after I finish this off, I'm going to go to bed if I end up finishing this off before like 2. I should do. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty close to finishing this off. Yeah, I just got sort of this area here, and then basically it's just sort of the outside, which should be relatively short-ish, and obviously stuff that I've missed along the way. Need to get that stuff as well, but I don't know how much of that stuff how much I've actually missed overall. Okay, yes. And then, yeah. Okay. Just trying to get the roof here done. Pardon me. There we go. Got that one nice and clean. Pardon me, I burped. I'm very good at burping. Oh, yeah, that's right. Fucking Olympics, sports that you don't expect to be at the Olympics. I remember breakdancing was at a recent Olympics. That's probably not going to come back considering the absolute piss poor performance of, I think it was the Australian competitor. Like, apparently all they did was just lie there. I think I saw the videos and it's just super bad. But I do remember there was this dude who just came up and shot, and that was actually really cool to watch. And that's old news, but it was cool. Oh. Everyone thought he was an assassin. I mean, and he came out and said he wasn't, and I mean, might be telling the truth, but he might actually be an assassin. Works for, I can't remember what country he's from, but like their government as a hitman. Or, because I don't think that the government would advertise him as a hitman, because if he is a hitman, the government uses him, they would probably want to keep that identity secret, so it'd be like Hitman from the Mob or something. That'd be kind of... I feel like that would be more realistic than him being a governmental hitman. I feel like it'd be like a freelance one. If he were to be a hitman. Oh my god. I am sleepy. Very sleepy. Okay. I'm Actually pretty happy with the amount of stuff that I've been able to like keep up with in conversation, especially when I'm tired. But I've kind of run out of things to talk about at the moment. And I think the constant yawning isn't really helping. But I feel like I'm getting better with it though. Like it's been what, an hour and 21 minutes. I've just been talking the entire time. I don't think that's too bad. If I were to like score myself on performance of learning a new skill, I think I'm going pretty well. It's an essential skill for streaming, basically being able to talk all the time, especially when starting out. Although, to be fair, I'm not starting out, but I am starting out with taking it seriously. I'm pretty happy with my progress so far, I guess. All right, let me see. What have I got left? Okay. Extension. Long extension. I can get this cleaned. Okay. Now, I have quite a few things I need to get cleaned that I haven't really touched yet. However, I'm not too sure where to go for some of this stuff, so I'm going to do what anyone does in my position and guess and then go somewhere else later. Okay. Well, let's clean the dirt. The dirt is evil and I am the cleaning man. Who is a power washer man? I'm not a cleaning man. I am power washer man. And let's take care of what we need to do. Go step by step. Oh fuck, I forgot about that wall, but that is fine because I am getting this dirt and I can't think of a word that rhymes with fine. Don't know why singing needs to rhyme, but it's a thing that we do for some reason. Probably to make a catchy tune in their song. It's kinda like a mnemonic, even though that makes no sense. They're having a mnemonic for a song. Mnemonic rhymes with demonic, which is part of my username on PlayStation. Which was an inspiration for my name was demonic rubelating, which is a singing. Why am I singing? I don't fucking know, but why the fuck not? Do. Okay, I don't really know. I'm just making mouth noises now. Oh. I think part of the thing about like the constant talking isn't necessarily coming up with things to say. Like that is a thing. But another part of it is just being too tired to like talk, and like part of it is like, yeah, I have stuff I can talk about and I keep talking, but it's like I don't want to talk about the thing that I'm talking about is like part of it, I suppose. I fucking hell. But I don't know, I'll figure it out at some point. I'm also like thinking about something as well. So I have like plans and ideas for the way I'm gonna do like shorts and stuff. And like I'm still sticking with that idea. But I'm also thinking of adding new stuff. Although if YouTube does that thing, that would probably work out pretty well. Although it might take me up to 2 shorts a day. Yeah. I don't know. And again, who knows? Who knows what I'm gonna do? I don't know. I'm one of those types of people who like thinks of like a plan and strategy. But like once I'm in the moment, like I usually change it on the fly based on whatever reason. Don't really have a specific reason. I'm gonna go ahead and go up the top here. Start cleaning up the top. Now, okay. I'm actually gonna place you down. Yeah. So I need to be here for a moment. There we go. Okay. I was originally gonna go up, but see, this needs to be trimmed of dirt. Trimmed dirt? Sure. Take care of this area if I can. And got that there. Go up here. Clean this, of course. Yeah, I'm fucking exhausted. Ah, for fuck's sake. Hate it when I push wrong buttons. Very annoyed with myself with that. But it looks like there's some dirt to get in here, but I'm not able to get up otherwise. My guess is scaffolding will probably help out with that. Oh well, I'll deal with that later. For now, I'll take care of this whole thingy. Alright, cleaning through here seems to be going relatively well. And then this one here as well. There we go. Move over and do this one. Got you. And then this one. And then that's nothing so far. Okay. And then go up here. Okay. I'll come back to that one later. Fucking go up the ladder like a normal fucking ladder climber person, dude. Fuck's sake. I'm annoying. The inconsistent bullshit you're doing. Okay, take care of this, and then go through and do each letter. And starting from the top, of course, because why not? Fuck. I have a rough amalgamation of what to do, like the system in place, but honestly not quite sure the best way to go about this. Trying to think of the best way to do it. Power line. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking wiped. Tired. Wise. Is that? Yeah, it is. Alright. I'm wondering what the hell's going on in past moment. So I haven't quite fully cleaned some of these things, but I don't know what it is that I'm missing exactly. Maybe something along the front. Yeah, it is along the front. Okay. As much as I can from the backside then. Obviously a reason for something. I can't remember what I was going to say, so I can't remember what the reason was that I was going to argue for and or against. Oh, okay, that's something along there. Then okay, shit, man, holy hell. What is the time? 1:41. Okay. So yeah, it's taking a bit longer than I thought it would. I might end this before I finish, but I'm so fucking close. But tired. And I need sleep. Need to go to bed early for a change. And actually put effort into doing so, not just talk about it. Like a lot of the time I just say, oh yeah, I need to go to bed early. But I never actually really follow through on that. Oh, sorry, go to sleep early. Oh, yeah, well done. Okay. Right. This, hopefully, help me get things that I'm missing in here. I don't actually think I need to go that far with this. I think this will do. Anyway, along the top of this as much as I can. And then that one later. Looks like I don't really need to climb all that high to get this stuff. Alright. Now place for letters over here. Oh. Yeah, maybe I have no choice but to keep this area, so I'll put it there. That'll be less inconvenient. Alright. Move up. This here. Damn it. Alright. pH's done. Alright, this is gonna be guess a little inconsistent with what I think is going to be clean. Mainly this O and the L, but okay, sure. One. Alright. Hmm. F4, there we go. Awesome. Can I please stop getting fucking stuck? It's very, very annoying and frustrating. Alright, go ahead and clean this, I guess. As much as I can anyway. Then what am I missing? I got the thing I was missing, so I guess that was missing. Thing that I was missing. Fuck shit. Um I'm so close to being finished. Just need to get the little wee nitpicks that I don't quite have. Also figure out what those little wee nitpicks are. I have a feeling I know some of it, not all of it. Hmm. Right, well that's nice and clean. Oh, there we go. Then go on. Yeah. Oh, and then there's a little bit there as well. I just didn't see. Hmm. Alright, clean this part here. Suppose. Okay. Hmm. Fuck's sake. Oh. Fucking hell. Okay, everything's sort of like a 99 alley. Hmm. Ah, there. Okay. Alright. Huh. Oh, I've gotten all this. Looks like I've missed something somewhere along it. Ah, wait. Wouldn't be this far here, would it? Hmm. No. Well, okay. Curb is clean. Let's see what's next. Curtain walls. That. that? I think it is. Oh, maybe not. That's here. Okay. Hmm. What am I missing? Fuck, nah, I'm really tired. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there. Oh, as always, don't forget to subscribe and or follow. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you have anything to say, leave a comment down below. See you next one. Bye for now. Hope you enjoyed and stop.